in this region, we'll encounter a bug where the strange ox is actually a strange ooze, and it will immediately kill Dammon. And if anybody is around, it'll attack the nearest entity of the Harpers. That didn't mean to attack Gale there, he was just sort of in the way, as he always is. But if no one's in the path, the strange ox/ooze will flee the area. If the strange ox dies, it drops a couple items. But yes, Dammon immediately dies because he is in no shape with his level 4 10 hit points to fight something that has around the ballpark of 150 hit points. Not even this guard that was level 5 could stand a chance against that ooze. It's been over a month, but the developers have released the patch, so this information is not necessary if you're using the most recent version of the game. This is a major factor. Let me show you another issue. It doesn't have to be in this region, it's just a fine time as any other. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the quick save button now. And you can see it is working. It's saving here, and in a second it's going to say quick save successful. There we go. Every time someone mentions that they have problems with the game, people are crawling out of the woodwork to claim it's the mods, it's the mods. It can be mods. I think people are so mystified by people modding the games that they are unable to understand that sometimes mods don't have anything to do with it.
I wish we had a bloody army.
Stock up while you can. I only hope I've brought enough to see us through.
If I pick, let's see your wares. From here on, if I try to save, failed to save game, error code 516.
If you're alright by Jaheira, you're alright by me.
To fix it, and I have had some varying degrees of success, it may depend on which merchant, you can hit this trade button, and at least in Aaron's case, it has fixed it. For Talli's case, it hasn't actually done anything. So I can flip that as much as I want. Maybe we'll try trading an item. Here, have a shovel. And we'll try saving. And it seems to have worked. Alright, with that covered, let's go back to our regular gameplay.
I bet they're close. Watching us.
If you use the web address listed in the description below, you'll see a web page that looks like this. It'll change as time goes on, as this person updates his program. But the one you'll want is this updater with console. What we need to do is, before we ever enter the city, we need to Alt-Tab to the script extender. Hit enter once, and then paste in a code. I'll leave this code in the description below. This says teleport this ID to me. And then I'll leave an ox here. Let's see here. We're going to have someone light a torch. Gale. And then we'll have Gale leave his torch on the ground so the ox doesn't get hurt from the shadow curse. And then we'll head on in. This screen is washed out because we went ahead and cast daylight just for the heck of it. We're gonna make a... I just think that doing this introduction in this manner is more amusing. My character's all glowing because I put a light spell on every piece of his gear for this conversation.
You there! Step forward and keep your hands off your weapons.
Easy! He's with me.
Come. Jaheira!
I call shenanigans because I'm wearing boots that keep me from being restrained. Just this once, I wish people would simply say hello.
Hello.
I saved your soldiers, and this is the thanks I get.
Kindness is too often a decoy. This is why we're here, you see. It is a curious creature that hides all manner of secrets. But if there's one thing that we know, it's that it knows its own kind. You should never have come here, true soul.
I'm going to pick the options to make her look the worst possible. First, we're going to attempt to succeed against the vines. We'll throw a bardic inspiration on this. Fail.
Stand down! Or we'll put you down!
She says stand down or put you down, so if we stand down... Hold, I can explain everything.
I'm not interested in the Absolute's manipulations. Harpers, cut this true soul down!
Stop! What are you doing? He's the one who saved us!
He's the one who protected the Emerald Grove.
Yup. Didn't leave a goblin standing. Not so bad to hang around with either. Saved 2 of my friends. One from a harpy, and one from a mad druid with a snake. Didn't make a fuss of our thieving either. I pretty much trust him with my life.
A true soul with a mind of his own? How is that possible?
I don't even know why she comes to that conclusion that this is a true soul with a mind of its own. Because while Mol does say your character did help, that could have always been before being infected, right? I work in mysterious ways.
Enlighten me. Now.
We're not going to tell her about the artifact, but she magically knows about the artifact anyways in a later conversation. I know it's hard to trust anyone right now, but believe me, I am not an absolute cultist.
Congratulations. You've earned yourself the benefit of the doubt. Hear me, Harpers. All clear. At ease. I'll not pretend to understand why you, the enigma that you are, suddenly crossed our path. But I'm old and wise enough to recognize a sliver of hope when it crawls out of the dark. Tell me, why have you come here?
My intentions are my own.
Not anymore. Not with so much at stake. There's food in the inn over there. Beds too if you require rest. Aloe oil in the cupboard, in case the vines gave you a rash. Settle in. Then come join me for a drink. You may just be the godsend we've been praying for.
Not anymore, not with so much at stake.
Hey, Dammon might be knocking around here, right?
Yeah, you want to talk to Karlach before you move further in, or you'll lose opportunity to do so.
Oh my god, soldier. That's Jaheira. The Jaheira.
Yeah, the Jaheira that almost sicked a pack of harpers on us.
Hey, it would have been an honor. Years ago, over a century, Jaheira was part of a group that saved Baldur's Gate from Saravok, a Baalsport trying to plunge the city into war. My mum used to tell us stories about them. The legends who protected the city from evil. She said Jaheira was a powerful druid. Adamant. Tough. I've told myself those stories 1,000 times since. I never thought I'd meet Jaheira. She's a hero, and I was always some outer city kid. Can't believe she wants to talk to us about working together. What a day!
By working together, you mean we do all the work and she takes all the credit. And if you think I'm being too hard on her, if that is what constitutes as a hero, our character is also a hero.
Let's say hi.
Looks like that odd ox made it through the shadows.
This is where the ox would be, so let's alt-tab back to the debug console and then teleport again. And now we're okay. All right, we'll deal with all of this. Actually, let's go ahead and do it now. All right, couple things to note is Shadowheart is carrying some flex from Grimforge. We also have 3 Inferno Iron. One will get used for this next event.
Amidst the darkness.
That's one way of looking at it. You could also say it's a prime target. The one pocket of light in the gloom.
Oh, pragmatism. Thy name is Shadowheart. You're not wrong, though. Best we keep our sojourn here to a minimum.
Gale had just said that he wasn't expecting to find this inn lurking in the cursed gloom. Let's go back to what Dammon was saying before these characters had interrupted us. Also, he's mystically working on the grindstone from far away.
Karlach! I thought you'd be in the city by now. We were ambushed by cultists. Half of us were captured, the other half ran here.
Off the anvil into the forge. We'll find them. Hopefully.
Before you run off into the belly of the beast, there's something I need to tell you. Well, 2 things. Good news and bad news.
What do you want to hear first, Karlach?
The good news, obviously.
I only need 1 more piece of infernal iron to craft an insulating chamber that can make it possible for Karlach to...
Touch people!
Exactly!
Oh my god. It's really happening. It's been so long. We've got the iron. Let's do this thing!
Hang on! I think you'll want to hear the bad news too.
Yeah, sure. But first, fix me. Please.
Let's let Dammon speak. This sounds important.
Fine. Well, go on then.
I don't enjoy saying this, Karlach, but there's no 2 ways about it. Your engine is going to blow and I can't fix it. I'm not sure anyone can. It's simply too hot to exist here in the material plane. Unless you return to Avernus for good, this thing is going to blow. Sooner rather than later.
But still, you can give me something that'll let me touch again, right? Safely.
Yes, but...
That's all I need to know. Do it. Please.
Karlach, did you hear what Dammon said? Your engine is going to explode. Soon.
I never wanted to live forever. I just want to live good.
Alright. Go on, give him the iron. Let's make this happen.
Well, all right. This shouldn't take long. Same as last time. You'll need to install it yourself. This should do the trick.
Not that I'm some sort of voyeur, but I would actually like to see what's going on here.
There. So did it work?
Only one way to find out.
Stand stock still.
Ignore. Look at that. No fire. I can't believe it. Thank you, Dammon. Thank you so much.
It's the least I could do. Before you go, there's something I need to tell you. That engine of yours, it's contained for the moment, but it's just too hot to exist here in the material plane indefinitely. I know you know that, but the thing is, there's a cure. I wasn't making any headway with the mechanics, none at all. The environment here is just too cold to sustain metals like the ones inside you. You have to return to Avernus. For good. Or this thing is going to burn you up from the inside out. And sooner than you think.
The minute I set foot back in Avernus, Zarya will force me back into service. I'm not doing her bidding again. I'd rather die.
I get that, but don't rule it out. The world just might be better with you in it. Even in Avernus. I won't stop trying to figure out a cure, but at this point, I think we all have to face the inevitable.
We'll have to make the inevitable inevitable then.
You read my mind. Thanks, Dammon. Really, you've given me more than I could ever repay.
It's been my pleasure. Good luck, both of you. Look after yourself, all right?
Then she gets another pop-up. You want to do these as soon as you can. If we had walked over and seen Dammon or approached Jaheira, we would have lost the opportunity to talk to Karlach earlier. Hit these as often as you can, as quickly as you can.
This is the best day. The best day!
Karlach, I'm worried about what Dammon said about your engine. We need to get you back to Avernus, or it's going to blow.
Listen, I'm never going back. If you said I could die right now, or live 1,000 years in the Hells, I'd choose to go out now with my freedom intact. I don't expect anyone to understand that. But I've been dealt a hand most people don't have to contemplate playing.
It wouldn't be forever. You could just return long enough for us to find a solution.
You heard Dammon. There is no solution. It's hell or bust. I choose bust. But I don't want to talk about this now. I've been given a huge gift. I can touch the people I love for the first time in a decade. And for the first time in a decade, there are people I care about all around me. Let me enjoy that. Please.
Alright, Karlach, alright. I'll leave it alone, for now.
Thanks, soldier. I just want to celebrate this. At least for a little.
We'll talk to the Ox. We're just going to go ahead and wash our characters first. Turn off, we'll say Glyph of Warding and put on Create Water. And just to be nice, we'll go get rid of the water. Okay, we went ahead and switched our engine to the modern build, and I'll explain in a bit here. Let's go ahead and chat with everybody, see what they have to say about Karlach and getting repaired. And I'll keep the best footage.
I know well the pain of seeing your life's hourglass running empty. Grasping at any means of slowing the grains as they slip inexorably through your fingers. Karlach's fate may be ordained, but her actions are not. She will make each breath count. We can be sure of that.
If death is soon to take Karlach, she should make every moment as rich as the last. Fight viciously, roar loudly, step boldly. She must make herself known.
So, the untouchable Karlach is untouchable no more. I'd shake her hand, but she can still snap me in two, so probably safest to skip it.
Hey, soldier.
You got your second upgrade. How does it feel?
Like I got something back. Something I've wanted for a really long time. When I touched you, I felt like a real person. My heart was racing, but I didn't hurt you. I don't have to be afraid of myself anymore. I don't have to hold back. Not sure the world's ready for unleashed Karlach, but it's getting it anyway. Thanks to Dammon. Thanks to you. Thanks to fate.
What about what Dammon said? About how your engine won't survive in the material plane?
Ugh. I don't want to think about that now. Misery always overstays its welcome, and joy leaves too soon. I'll cry later, but not now.
What do you do with your newfound freedom?
Touch! Touch everything! Touch everyone that'll let me. Shake hands, dance a waltz, maybe even kiss a face or two if I find a good candidate. The world's my funhouse.
I'm very glad you got what you wanted.
Me too, soldier. Gods, me too. For every knock we take, I feel like I get a little treat just to keep me going.
I think this would have meant more to me as a player if she actually did contact damage just by touching somebody. Like if she was a monk and her unarmed attacks did an extra 2 points of fire damage or something. I understand she has the Infernal Engine, which you can't see because my hotbar is not of the appropriate size right now. There are some animations in the newest build that run better than my current build, where some NPCs don't even show up. But my mods don't wholly exist in compatibility. We will be going back to the earlier build after I show off all the dialogue here. Let's talk to Dammon again.
It's you. What are the odds? So glad you're all right. Well, as all right as any of us. A makeshift Harper's Fire might not be where I hope to set up shop. But maybe I've got something you can use anyway. And if you find any interesting materials in need of working, I'm happy to help.
When he was addressing us, I felt like his right eye was twitching uncontrollably, but maybe that was just me. Interesting materials? What do you mean?
I hesitated to mention this back in the Druid's Grove, for obvious reasons, but no one has earned my trust if not you. When Elturel was dragged into Avernus, I was drafted into a devil's smithy. It should have been awful. But infernal metal is like a wild horse. Powerful, exuberant. It'll kill you if you lack technique. I can sense some. Smell it almost. Somewhere in the area. Underground, maybe. Out there in the shadows. If you find it, bring it to me. I'll make something incredible.
This is the same dialogue we had in Emerald Grove. Okay, actually, hold on. I need to load a save. The reason is, if you don't talk to Dammon right after you finish with Karlach, I lose the ability to turn on my Grimforge medal. So let me load and we'll do that right away. Alright, so if we talk to him right after repairing Karlach's heart and not talking to any of our companions, including Karlach herself, we now get to turn in our materials. So we'll turn in this last, because if we click this, it actually takes our Infernal Iron instead, and then we can't pick it again. I think I found a material you could work with. What can you make of it? And this is the unmodded, most recent build.
Absolutely. Rare to get your hands on this stuff. Well done keeping it to hand.
While he fixes up some stuff, I'll talk about the build. He will give us 3 pieces of Helldusk gear, inferior pieces, and it's the 3rd one that I really want.
There you are. And be careful who you show that to. It might draw the wrong kind of attention.
So you can see we just literally completed the Hellion's heart, and we haven't even talked to Karlach.
Need anything? It's perfect. Really. Just a moment, I'll be able to work this one quickly.
So Dammon, by the way, was escorted by all those tieflings that are now dead. Don't you think about this? We are about to buy some magic items that are in his stock that has nothing to do with the Infernal Iron we're currently forging, by the way. He's got magic weapons. I can't help but think that maybe that might have saved someone's life.
There you are. And be careful who you show that to. It might draw the wrong kind of attention. Need anything?
We don't have any more inferior or infernal iron, so if we pick that, it doesn't work. I found this metal in a place called Grimforge. What do you make of it?
well, well. I knew I smelled something, and I know just what to do with it. One moment.
I don't know why the dialogue option disappears. It also disappears in the previous build as well. It's just Dammon is all kinds of screwed up. Perhaps because he's a persistent character that travels between acts. But though I have no idea why taking a minute off from talking to Dammon messes up this dialogue tree.
There you are. And be careful who you show that to. It might draw the wrong kind of attention.
Alright, let's take a look at all these flawed Helldusk pieces. We've got the Helldusk armor. We'll probably put this on Lae'zel. When you're hit by a foe within 2 meters, it'll take 1 to 4 fire damage. It is 1 less armor class than we're currently using, which is 19. Flawed Helldusk helmet. The wielder has +2 bonus to saving throws against spells. I don't really see myself using this, so to the camp it goes. Flawed Helldusk gloves. Your weapon attacks deal an additional 1 to 4. Your unarmed deal an additional 1 to 4 necrotic, and can inflict bleeding. Of course, you want to put this on a dual-wielding character when possible, because if I were to put it, say, on my 1 heavy spiked club, I'm only going to get an extra 1d4 fire damage. But if I put it on my dual-wielder, Will, his old gloves were Bardic Inspiration +1. He's now going to do 1d4 for his Sword of Screams and 1d4 extra fire. Hold on, let's get that to update properly. There we go, 1d4 extra fire on the Blood of Lathander. It wasn't updating properly because it was confused as who was actually equipped with it. Sometimes that happens when you're hovering over things after switching characters. Yes, I do know that I still have the greater than maximum party size. I'm still telling you that Dammon just was very confused about those pieces. Let's take a look at his incredible stockpile.
Need anything?
This is what the default trade menu looked like. They did fix the categories. Before, it would not necessarily be correct if you were to click ingredients. My gripe with this, though, is it now sorts by type in the all window. What it used to do is not actually sort by any category and just show you the most expensive stuff. That was the easiest way to buy things. Now I have to actually look at each category. Like, for example, I have to look at this axe. Okay, it's not a special axe. What about this hammer? Oh, it is a special hammer. I have to do that for everything now. So it does take longer to buy all the items. As usual, we'll go and buy all the magic items and then spend a little bit of time looking it over. We just go ahead and collect it all from his inventory first. The Thornblade, he can stock more than one of these. I don't think he's got any magic armor, but I have to check this way. He does have Swordmaster gloves, though. I guess that would be magic armor. I was talking more like these chest pieces. Even though he's got 2 different breastplates, they are the exact same. No, it's not. That's not magical. And okay, I think that's everything. Let's take a look at what we've got. The Charge-Bound Warhammer. Okay, so you can see that we do... Actually, hold on. Let's just take off the Psychic Ring. One of the reasons why we're adding Psychic damage to everything is we've got this concentration going on. Now our club is doing 6 to 20. It's predicting we'll do 1 to 10, but it's not a packed weapon yet. The club is a packed weapon, so I'm getting a +4 bonus because of my charisma. Let's go ahead and put this on. This is not going to be correct. This number right here is because it doesn't calculate for the lightning damage. Let's go ahead and turn this into a packed weapon. We are now doing 8 to 22. We are now doing more damage with this one hammer than we did before with the Great Club. It's a good trade. Now I can do other stuff, such as swap out, say, a torch or something and not ruin my theme here. Where there it is, right there. Other items we got the Dark Fire Shortbow. This adds resistance to fire and cold damage. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this might mean I can't burn either, because I saw one combat log message that said cannot be burned or something, but I don't know if it's the person who had this bow equipped. I guess we could try it out. Let's go ahead and stick this on. Was it Will that takes it?
The hero at heart.
There we go. So now he has resistance to fire. Good. Doesn't say anything. I don't think it says anything about not being able to be on fire. I don't want to blow up something on the town because then people get mad at me. Even if you douse the torch, by the way, they get mad at you too, because this is an area where flames are life. The Harmonium Halberd is +2 strength. This might be good on a two-handed character, but only real fighter we have doing that is Lae'zel, who's currently using the Githyanki sword +3. The Sword of Clutching Umbra. It does have a special attack, Shadow Soaked Blow. Remember that the extra 1d4 psychic is just because of my ring, but this will probably attach to a character just to use the Shadow Soaked Blow once. Sword of Life Stealing. On a critical hit, the target takes an extra 10 necrotic damage, and you get an extra 10 hit points. Can you imagine one of the guards being loaned that as a weapon? Thermal Dynamo Axe. This would probably be good with a Karlach build that was a melee-focused barbarian rather than my throwing barbarian. Whenever you deal damage with this weapon, you gain 2 turns of heat. Thorn Blade. When concentrating, your melee weapon attacks deal an additional 1 to 4 damage. Unfortunately, my Warhammer is not light, so I can't dual wield this. However, I could equip, and I think there's gloves of two-handed fighting, but I don't think it actually gives you the dual wield feat. The dual wield feat is separate than two-handed fighting. See here, dual wielder allows me to wield 2 different weapons even if they aren't light. Whereas two-handed fighting is kind of like this great weapon fighting. It's a fighting style and not a feat.
Let's move.
Finally, we have the Swordmaster gloves. You gain proficiency with swords of all kinds, and then you get +1 to melee attack rolls.
One day I'll catch a break.
We're going to just talk to the merchants, and we're going to make a beeline for certain character dialogues here. We're not going to chat with all the important people yet.
Stock up while you can. I only hope I've brought enough to see us through.
Anything I could take off your hands at no cost to myself. If you succeed this, you'll get 2 packs of camp supplies. Wow, that's much slower than what I'm used to.
Cheeky. But, since you're asking.
Thanks, Quartermaster.
I bet they're close. Watching us.
If you're all right by Jaheira, you're all right by me.
Okay. Well, let's see here. We have Defender Great Axe. When making your first attack of the round, you can reduce his weapon enchantment by 1 to increase your armor class and saving throw by 1. I just don't see myself really ever using it, but into the collection it goes. Incandescent Staff. This looks pretty cool. Remember that the psychic damage, of course, that's for the 3rd time, is just part of my abilities. It's not part of the normal ability. And the -1 damage is because I have low strength. This will normally do 1 to 8, but most importantly, it casts Fireball. Yeah, that's a free Fireball per day. Rapier +2. A Hat of Uninhibited Kushigo. After dealing damage with an unarmed attack, the wearer gains a +1 bonus to their spell save. Barkskin Armor. You are invested with the power of the meadows and woods of the land, and have the effect of Barkskin, increasing your armor class to 16. Obsidian Laced Robe. On a successful saving throw against a foe's spell, deal 4 to 7 fire damage against them. That might actually be interesting to pair up with Lae'zel's Circlet of Psionic Revenge, where if she passes a saving throw, that they take 1 to 4 psychic damage. This one will go on Karlach. I can gain Bull's Strength, and I can increase my Strength by 2, up to a max of 20. And then I also get Unwavering Bull, where I cannot be pushed against my will, and have an advantage on saving throws against being restrained. And I get the Bull Rush class action. There are so many things about this item that it probably shouldn't be a blue item. It should probably be more than that, whatever the next step up is. Yuan-ti Scale Mail. It's okay. It lets me use my full dexterity modifier, and at later levels, it'd be absolutely rocking, right? But at my current levels, at most, I'll probably have something along the lines of 18 or 20 dexterity. And this is still a hit in dexterity with my characters. I'll show you. I'll give it to Will. He's the best one to use, and he still doesn't increase his armor class. Cloak of Protection, we'll put that on Shadowheart because she's going with the little defensive tank build over there. Shield of Devotion, this is going to go to Gale. This gives him an extra 1 level 1 slot. Gives him the aid spell if he wanted to bolster his hit points. And Shield Bash does some sort of reactionary attack he can do. Cinder Snap Gloves goes into the stockpile. Gloves of the Balanced Hand. This gives us that 2-weapon fighting feat or style I was talking about earlier. Amulet of the Harpers lets me have the Shield Abjuration spell. Alright, and Shade Clinger Armor. While obscured, the wearer has advantage on saving throws. Period. Okay.
Take care now.
Let's go and pass out those items. Shadow Heart. Camp. Camp. These also go to camp. This will go to Will. This will go to Karlach. These will go to camp. Gale holds all our magic arcane items. These will go to camp. Go to Gale. She will equip the Flawed Helldusk armor.
Wanna dance?
Full rush. So now she can do this. Get the cloak.
Careful, I bite.
I don't think you get any upgrades at this time. There's another merchant in town that he will get an upgrade. Okay. I'd mention that Will is our best character for this, because Will is a medium armor user with our current setup. And he has high dexterity. So you would say like, oh, that's a shoo-in. The thing is his half-plate currently gives him 16 armor class. The Yuan-ti is 15 armor class with additional dexterity. He would have 3 dexterity bonus, but he's only capped at 2. So 16 plus 2 or 15 plus 3. It's the same thing, but this will be better in the long run. It just doesn't give us many advantages right now. Speaking of which, there is one advantage in that he does not impose disadvantage on stealth checks. Just that he's not really going to be stealthing around. Typically, when I walk into someone's cone of view, I'm just going to get found anyway, so. Gale, slap on that shield. And we'll hold on to this staff. This upcoming dialogue is the first of the 2 most recent build specific dialogues. If you try to do this before, she won't be able to accept the sword properly, whether or not you're giving it or selling it to her. This is Megan. She's a member of Jonas's squad.
He was joking this morning. Jonas, I mean.
Give her time to speak.
He was always joking. Said it was good for morale, but he just liked seeing people laugh. He was a good harper. A good friend.
Sounds like you were close.
We were. Comrades in arms. I thought we could have been something more one day, but too late now.
I found his sword on his body. Would you like to have it?
Yes, I'd like that. I don't know what to say.
I don't care what you say, so long as you pay.
Thought you were doing me a kindness. Stupid of me. Here. Take it and leave me be.
Get real. If you had spent that money before this, maybe he'd still be alive. That's not even his body, by the way, because his body's still out there. It's just a little shrine for him. The reason why we'll go back to an older build after these dialogues, because my mods seem to be incompatible or freaking out with the newest patch.
Sharp as ever.
Let's go ahead and cast this. Owl's Wisdom. That'll help for an insight check. That'll happen in a little bit here. Now let's go and talk to Mattis.
Welcome to our humble... Wait, are you Karlach? A lot of us were in Avernus. We saw you fighting. You were so good.
Well, yeah, I guess I was. I mean, you should avoid fighting for devils if you can. But if you can't, it helps to have a good right hook.
I saw you lay out a Moor demon in 2 hits. Bam! Bam! We were all like, whoa!
Ever heard of the Blade of Frontiers, kid? If you like monster smashing, you might be a fan of his work.
Who's that?
A lovely chap. Didn't kick ass in the Blood War, but that's neither here nor there.
That's true. But he never got kidnapped by a devil either.
No, just sold his soul to one.
Huh?
Sorry, kid. Look, forget about us begrudges and bruisers. From the look of things, you've got your wits about you. A clever mind and a bit of style will take you a long way. Fight with those, and you may find you never need to use your fists at all.
In that case, Want to buy a lucky ring I found?
Ha! Nice try, Shorty. Keep it up, though, and you'll be scamming with the greats in no time.
Kid really looks up to you. That's nice to see.
It is, isn't it? Hope he makes it out of this mess with his wits in one piece. I'd like to see him set up in a proper home in the city. Every kid deserves that.
Then he'll immediately initiate dialogue.
Check it out. We've gone legitimate, and Mol put me in charge. What do you need?
You got any stock for an extra or special customer like me?
I'm not supposed to mention it to anyone, but I do have something pretty special in stock. A key. What does it look like? What does it open? What treasures await behind its lock? That's for one lucky buyer to find out. Mol gave it to me and said I shouldn't let it go to just any old jackaday.
Mol said I could have it. If you cast friends here, you will get busted by the guard. Oh, man, I was just clicking so much on that one just to get it to kick off.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. Only I would fail a DC 6. With all of these bonuses. With the 15 to 25 bonus.
Really? But she said... All right. Here. I guess. Last night's best bargains, right here. In the market for something special?
Yours is the first happy face I've seen in a good while.
I'm alive, ain't I? What's not to like?
Let me see what you have. Alright, this unbearable amount of garbage, that's because I was offloading my stuff on Mattis. We're going to go ahead and buy this back and just discard it somewhere else at a later time. Let's take a look at the items he does have, however. He has a bunch of fake magical items, which are more amusing to me than real ones. But there are some actual good things here. Here's another cloak. When the wearer disengages, they create a foggy cloud with 2-meter radius that lasts for 1 turn. We'll probably give that to Asterion. Evasive shoes. Arrow of Sparrow Slaying. Magic weapon meant to slay a particular kind of creature. Sparrows in this case. The arrow will grievously wound sparrows it hits. The poor wee winged fellows. Decanter of Nearly Endless Water. This decanter can, in fact, sometimes run out of endless water. However, it will definitely regain its properties next day. The day after, for sure. I wish I could read that in Mattis' voice. Fishing Rod of Alertness. The wielder of this rod cannot be surprised, unless something unexpected happens. I like that there's a little yellow text on it. The yellow text actually does have its own link. Sending Shell. Faint whispers creep from this sending shell when you hold it close, yet the method of sending messages from it is unclear. Spoon of Saltiness. When salting food, the bearer of this shadow curse utensil will always add too little or too much, but never the right amount. Truly, the deviousness is top tier. And of course, I sold a bunch of random body parts. Remember that when I'm looting stuff, I just hit spacebar. It's faster than trying to hit the little X button when closing things. So yeah, I just sold literally everything.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Probably took a while because he had so much stuff to load. So yeah, we will get rid of all of that. Alright, this is the reason why I wanted another dialogue, because in the current version of the build I'm running, Raphael, he doesn't exist in this dialogue. It's just an empty chair that we're talking to. Also, touching this lance board means that Jaheira will go ahead and start attacking you. So much for being the savior of this place. Mol will take the lance board and then run off, like not stealing, but she does take it and leave. It even says so in the dialogue here. So if you're to flip to outside the dialogue window and watch, she takes it. But the animation of Raphael is he warps off with it. The reason I'm talking about all this is I kind of want the lance board. And I don't know if it's going to break the game if I take it. Alright, let's go and talk to Raphael.
Your move, Mol.
You trapped me? I didn't even want to take this one.
Kalimshan rules, dear. The first piece touched is the first piece moved.
That's garbage. No matter where the night goes, I'm gonna lose it.
Then make the sacrifice useful. Guard your Mistra, or come for my Cyric.
I like Raphael.
What's going on here?
Look who made it! For once, I saved your butt out there, didn't I? We're square now, Chief. Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
The keen gleam in Mol's eyes reveals the lie. She knows the game well, and she wants to win.
Always laid a fine trap for you, Mol. It looks to me like his Cyric could be dethroned.
Yeah, we're gonna go with sleight of hand because we'll get more inspiration this way. Accidentally jostle the board Mol's way.
How's that for Kalimsham rules?
Brava! Lovely work. I see I was right to make you the offer I did. You will consider it, won't you? What a lovely specimen she is. A blushing apple begging to be plucked.
Please let me smack this creep.
She cheated, of course, but that's half her charm.
Yeah, that is kind of a creepish thing to say. We're gonna go ahead and switch to Asterion at this point. I wanted him in the area so that we can get the inspiration, which will kick off after the dialogue is finished. But I don't want Asterion talking to Raphael yet, so I can get you some more rare dialogue. That's half her charm. What is the other half?
My favorite kind, ambition. But don't you worry about Mol. It goes without saying she still has the unconditional freedom to choose the only option she has left. Besides, I do enjoy being in this neighborhood again. It has such a rich history of abject tragedy. And tragedy, my friend, well, there's my bread and bloody butter.
So what is this region's history of tragedy?
Why spoil it? It's all out there, waiting to be discovered. You never know what you might find if you just dig a little deeper.
Just stay away from Mol, you hear?
She won. She has a taste for it now. She'll be the one who comes to me. But enough about my lesser pursuits. Why bother with trifles when I'm in the illustrious presence of my very favorite client? Tell me, oh apple of my eye, how have you been? You don't have any gills to get green around yet, but you do look a little worse for wear in this light.
You know, I've never been better.
Splendid. And yet, I have this picture in my head of you tossing and turning in the middle of the night, thinking strange things, dreaming strange dreams. And there's this little voice inside of you asking, is this my will, or is it the worm's? But you have no answer, and no way of knowing. The good thing is, though, there's only one little voice you really should listen to. Mine. See you soon.
We get shuffling the board for Asterion. Folk hero, helping the little guy for Will. And finally, even though we didn't pick it, we get for Gale, Theskin Tactician.
A blushing apple begging to be plucked? Raphael's angling for the girl's soul.
Mol's an obstinate one. If she's of a mind to team up with Raphael, there's no changing it.
She's stubborn, yes. Bold as a lamb cavorting in a lion's den. But as ambitious as she is, Mol's no fool. One way or another, she'll see there's no winning Raphael's game, and she'll walk away.
And if she doesn't?
Then Raphael collects another trophy, and Mol sells her independence to the Hells. You've seen what happens when a bound soul reaches for freedom. I can't imagine what cruel penance Mol would pay if she were ever to resist that fell bastard.
Nice strategy back there. If we put our heads together, I bet you and me could make a tidy stack of coin in Baldur's Gate. But Raphael's offered me a partnership already, and it seems like a sweeter deal than throwing my lot in with you.
No, kid. No.
He's a devil, Mol. They are fickle patrons. Ambition and treason lie before you.
So what if Raphael's a devil? Means he's got the power to keep his promise. Also, bit rich for you to tell me who I can or can't make deals with, all things considered.
You need to believe in yourself, Mol, not the empty promises of a fork-tongued monster.
Zevlor had belief. Didn't get him anywhere good. Besides, Raphael wasn't promising anything stupid. Protection for me and my kids, that's all.
Her smile is broad, her eyes twinkling, her face the very picture of innocence. She's clearly lying.
But I haven't accepted nothing yet. Sounds like you're in deeper than I am.
Raphael's dangerous, Mol. What did he really offer you?
What I said! That he'd get me and my gang safely to Baldur's Gate. And also, when we get there, I'd be head of the Thieves' Guild.
And what happens to the current head of the guild?
I dunno, devil stuff? What matters is I can keep my kids safe. Everyone else has let them down, but I won't. Look, you saved us. Not knocking that. But after you left, Zevlor lost his nerve. Gave up the fight. I won't. Now there's no grove, no coin, no one taking us to the city. I'm not letting my crew get eaten by shadows. Maybe I'll make a deal, maybe I won't. But it'll be my choice, not the devil's, and not yours.
Be shy? Have a gander at the finest.
One of the worst things about getting old. Watching kids make the same exact mistakes you made. And knowing there's absolutely nothing you can say to change their mind. Then again, Mol's a hell of a lot smarter than I was at that age. Maybe she'll figure it out.
She's on thin ice. My gold's on her falling, though.
If that happens, maybe old Auntie Firehands can pull her out.
Light on my feet.
I actually don't know what this cutscene with the ox is. Every time I've done it, I've mashed through all the spacebar. So I'm kind of curious what this is.
No, still incapable.
Incapable of what?
Not for you to know.
Oh, come on. Now you've piqued my curiosity.
Well, come close. Your mind to mine. Are you satisfied?
How does an ox like yourself have such horrifying thoughts?
It's a talent.
I'll trade you your secret for one of mine.
I'm not a busybody. You ought to use me as an example, or you might get yourself in trouble.
Fine, I'll go.
Good little hero.
The quest I wanted to cover is longer than I thought it would be, so I'm going to have to cut this into different parts. Thank you very much for watching Tran win Baldur's Gate 3. I'll see you next time.
Ow. We'll just consider that an accident then, shall we?